Tico Talks Throne and Liberty.
Hello everyone.
My name's Tico, and
I
I'm the
just finished
Globalization Design
watching,
Manager at
and I want
Amazon
to talk a
Games
little bit
for Throne
about
and
the
Liberty.
changes
I have to say,
and
we're
complain
absolutely
about
thrilled
certain
with how the
things. I know
Solutions
I complain a
Awakening
lot,
update has
but
been
I
performing.
think I need to
The
do that
response
for the
from all
game.
of you has been
So the first thing Chico talks about here is about Battlegrounds and how Battlegrounds work well, but there are some problems, like spawn camping, people literally invading the enemy spawn. So what's gonna change is they're gonna introduce, I think, a barrier or something like that to not allow people to go into the enemy spawn at least. About backcapping and other things, I think they want to watch out more for the ranks. They said they're gonna wait for the rank to be launched to see how the game plays out to then do some changes, which is fair. But to be honest, there's a lot of problems on Battlegrounds overall, and it's mostly related to class balance more than the mode itself, you know? I think ranked is gonna do really well on the start, but it's gonna flop and die like really quick because any PvP content in this game is either dominated and people give up, or just straight up flops because people don't want to deal with the PvP balance mess, which is fair as well. So I don't know how I feel about it, but you know, for the casual kill, it should still be fine. I just wish they removed like chain kill, you know, chain pieces, chain matchmaking, static matchmaking. You know, so you cannot just go with your X-bow and 3 pocket healers and a tank, you know, to link myself, because that's kind of really lame for like a casual battlegrounds. Well, whatever, regardless, Battlegrounds is fine and I don't care too much. I think it's a great addition for the game. It's fun, it's good. So let's just skip it, because that's like half of the video for some reason. They talk about the orb balance, finally, just took a little bit, right? And it looks like we're gonna be getting some balance for like PvP and PvE. On the PvE aspect, I imagine it's gonna be faster because it's pretty obvious the problems on X-bow / Orb overall, two very problematic weapons. On the PvP part, they said they want to watch out and wait a little bit more for like the meta to evolve and counter metas and things like that before touching the orb and doing anything on it. They might do some changes from what I have like listed on the video, but they didn't list anything yet. More changes should be coming next week, so it's another week for X-bow Orb. And on the PvP should be still be a mess on the performance and like orbs overall, just supernovas everywhere, collapses everywhere, whatever. So that's the news on the PvP part. I'm pretty frustrated it was not spoken much about like what are gonna be the balances or what are the ideas for the balance. Maybe because they don't have anything concrete yet, but it's gonna be like a month since they launched, so it's kind of rough right now. They announced 2 new trials using the new dungeons, the tier 4 dungeons, but it doesn't really matter that much. It's good for the people that like the PvE content, but it's kind of really relevant right now with the X-bow orbs, so hopefully they add more things, or like they nerf it before launching new things, so we're gonna have to wait to see what happens. But overall, not mega happy with it, but I'm content they at least are finally addressing it. I'm not happy at all about the server connection stable issues that has not been commented at all. Like, we lost Siege because the server just died and went into maintenance and nothing happened. And we lost an Arc boss like that. And I heard that EU lost Arc bosses and NA lost Sieges. So it's like, it's been a mess. The servers have been like a potato. Please at least address it or talk about it or like show a solution or at least compensate for the things that we lost. But regardless, moving on, that has not been addressed. The next problem that we got, they talk about the legendary gear, the right gear, and it's a totally silver tape on top of the problem. It's horrible. Like, they decided that they want to work on gear transferring for the accessories and the armor being more free. So not only all weapons that can transfer to all weapons, now all armors can transfer to all armors. And that's overall a good thing. For example, if you have a glove or a cloak and you want to transfer to like a chest or something, now you can do that transfer, and that's gonna be good because it opens more possibilities, but it doesn't solve the problem of like if you invest in the chest, on the gloves, and it's fully traded, has everything leveled, you're still gonna be transferring a fully leveled thing, and you're gonna lose that old gear for a new piece of gear that you're still gonna have to blast and trade, and like heroic trade on top of it. So it doesn't really solve much of the problem. That is the investment you put on the gear. You're still gonna be losing the old gear, and that's mostly okay for the armor and like accessories because those don't have passives. But for the weapons, this doesn't solve anything. For example, I have my heroic one that I put months of work into maxing it out, putting full heroic traits and everything, and the only option I have is to transfer it to a new heroic weapon and fully trade everything, including the heroic. But even if I do that, I'm gonna be losing so much value from the other weapon that I had because it had skill cores. So I had Deckman, I had E.Tevent, I had other like tier 3, tier 2 skill cores, and they are gonna be useless because I cannot transfer them back to the weapon that I had. I cannot like just use them if I need, for example, oh, I'm gonna make a content or like play something that needs one whatever. If I already transfer the one, I only have the skill cores of the one. So now I would need to rebuild another one regardless if I want to use the E.Tevent passive or other skill cores. So it's really not solved. It's literal silver tape on top of the problem that doesn't really need to be this complicated. Just add synchronization and allow people to build more weapons or more gear overall. Like, it makes no sense for a game that you actually want people to build different classes, different weapons, different combinations to lock someone into a weapon or a class. At least like allow the people to, evolve easier other things, and that was the second silver tip that they apply other than the transfers. They are adding an heroic legendary pass, and it's ridiculous. You cannot solve the problem by adding a pass, probably gonna be a paid pass because that's the name of the pass: leveling pass, battle pass, furniture pass, mastery pass, whatever you want to call it. You always have to pay 500, 700, 1000 Lucent, whatever it is the price, to buy the battle pass and have benefits on it. It's good that they are adding more ways to get resources on that, but it's really bad that they are adding that behind a pass. They gotta stop using passes, Lucent paywalls as solutions for core game problems. I get it's free to play, but it's not a good solution. Just add synchronization, that solves everything. It's really simple. I don't get the idea behind this at all. And now let's talk about more problems, because they address the hyperboost and the hyperboost problems and legacy players abusing and stealing field bosses, arc bosses loot, and everything from the hyperboost servers. And guess what? They don't care. They want to patch it, and it's a priority according to them. But there was no talk about punishment. There was no talk about like compensation. There was no talk about anything. The only thing announced for the hyperboost is literally, oh, you're gonna be able to transfer from the hyperboost to the legacy. That's your solution. So your hyperboost server is failing, is dying. So here you can transfer it. And are we getting free transfers at least? Like, or we need also to pay Lucent to get out of the hyperboost server problem? Like, this doesn't address the abuse, the bug abuse on a lot of things. This doesn't address the Nebula Island not working for like 2 weeks of the 3 weeks since launch. This doesn't address the kill times of like not solving anything, like not finding kills at all for anything. This doesn't address like the problem between having two dead hyperboost servers on the same region instead of merging them to have like a server that has players to do content and gameplay and PvP and PvE. They could just merge those at least. This doesn't address anything. It just says literally, we are aware there's people abusing, we're gonna fix it. People that abuse it, it is what it is. It has always been like that. Abuse first, get things earlier, get ahead of everyone else. That's about it. That's the name of the game. Abuse first and then worry about it later. Get your free loot, get your botted weapons, get your botted polished crystals on the mini bosses, get the obsidian stones for like those dwarves. Let's see what else. Abuse the raids before everyone else. Abuse the trials, abuse everything. Use those bugs on the classes that it doesn't matter. It's gonna be fine, right? That's the deal, right? Great. So frustrating. But yeah, that's the changes for the hyperboost that have been announced. You're gonna be able to leave the hyperboost server next week if you probably pay for a transfer, which is, oh my god. Really, Tico, really, I get it, but like, it's so bad. Like, so this Secret Talk basically said, oh, Battlegrounds is great, good, that's half of the video. We're gonna stop spawn killing, which is good, and we're not gonna do any changes yet until ranked, which is gonna take a while, so the Battlegrounds is just gonna be what it is, which is fine. Then we get the silver tape solution on the legendary / heroic, the silver tape solution on the hyper boost situation. We don't get anything addressed on the server stability issues and the performance of the game overall. And on top of everything, the only thing that we got is a little bit of like, yeah, we are aware the orb has a problem and we're gonna be working on it, but it's gonna be a month since that, and like, let's wait to see what happens. Maybe it's gonna be good, maybe it's gonna be bad. I don't trust the AGS balancing at all, but it is what it is. That's the video that we got. This doesn't solve like 80% of the problems of the game that are not really that hard to solve. Just merge hyperboost, make the kills connected, allow hyperboost to at least evolve, punish players that have been bug abusing, bot abusing, whatever it is, script abusing, take care of the policy of the game, because that was a thing that made a lot of people quit months ago, was when people started abusing everything, and there were clearly bots all everywhere. You could see bots like just abusing things and nothing was done. There was like a 3 to 7 days ban, and they kept the items, so it's whatever. So the same issues are popping over and over again. The balance being too slow, the team taking too long to do anything, the random balance on classes that really didn't have issues. So yeah, Legendary not being addressed. I'm just repeating myself. In conclusion, this video is... The secret talk was very disappointing, and I don't think it solves mostly anything at all. It just fluffle about nothing, basically. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching. See ya.